The Sound of Silence, Dossier 27. Do you hear that? Nothing. Exactly. That is the problem. We often think of silence as peace, a pause, a virtue. Silence is golden. But within the structures of power, silence is not an empty space. Silence is a wall. When a truth is hidden, it is not forgetfulness. It is a decision. When a cry for help goes unheard, it is not an accident. It is a design. You are living in a loud world, but the most important things are being forced into silence. And even more terrifying than being silenced is when you choose to stay silent without realizing you've been programmed to do so. Today, we aren't talking about what is heard. We are dissecting what is forced into muteness and how that silence is controlling your life. Welcome to Dossier 27. We live in the age of information. You think you're free because you can post anything online. That is the greatest illusion of the 21st century. Power doesn't need to scream to assert dominance. Real power knows how to weaponize silence. Think about it. When a mistake happens in a mega corporation, what is the first reaction? No comment. When an injustice occurs in society, what is the first reaction? Awaiting investigation. Silence is not the absence of sound. Silence is the absence of a response. It is a tool used to cool down outrage, to blur memories, to make victims doubt their own voices. There are 5 layers of silence being used to control you right now. If you don't recognize them, you will forever remain a part of the foundation, never to be named. Layer 5. Distorted noise. What is the most effective way to hide a tree? Plant it in a forest. What is the most effective way to hide a truth? Bury it under a mountain of junk information. The system doesn't need to censor you. It only needs to keep you too busy to hear yourself. When everything is important, nothing is. Silence here isn't the lack of noise. It's the lack of a clear signal amidst the chaos. Are you scrolling through your screen to escape the silence in your own head? Stop for a second and ask yourself. Layer 4. Self-censorship. This is the most dangerous layer because no one is holding a gun to your head to keep you quiet. You do it to yourself. You calculate, what do I gain by speaking out? Losing my job? Damaging relationships? Being isolated? When self-censorship becomes a reflex, the system no longer needs police. You have become your own prison. And the key is in your hand, but you're too afraid to put it in the lock. Layer 3. Systemic ignorance. You speak up, but no one answers. Emails go unreturned, calls go unanswered, petitions are filed away in some dark basement. This is the silence of the machine. It sends a cruel message. You don't exist enough to deserve a response. Ignoring someone is a form of legalized contempt. It erodes your will faster than any threat, because when you punch the air, you eventually get tired and stop. Layer 2. Social isolation. When silence isn't enough, the system uses peer pressure. Don't make waves. Everything in moderation. Silence is golden. These cliches are repeated to protect the stability of the group, not to protect the truth. The one who breaks the silence is labeled a troublemaker. And humans, by biological instinct, fear being cast out of the herd more than they fear a lie. That's why the majority chooses silence, for safety. Layer 1, the deepest layer. Erasure. This isn't about keeping you quiet today. It's about ensuring that tomorrow no one knows you ever spoke. When stories aren't told, victims aren't remembered. History is written by the winners, but it is maintained by the silent. If there are no witnesses, the crime does not exist. If there is no memory, injustice can repeat infinitely without anyone noticing. This is the pinnacle of control. When truth is no longer truth because no one is left to remember it. So, what is the way out? Do we have to scream? No. The solution isn't to create more noise. The solution is to break the silence in the right place. A timely question, an undeniable truth, a refusal to comply. Power doesn't fear loud opposition. Power fears silence broken by truth. Because once the invisible glass is shattered, you cannot glue it back together. Silence is a form of control. But your voice is a form of resistance. Every time you choose to speak the truth, however small, you are pulling a brick out of that invisible prison wall. We have walked through the 5 layers of silence, from distorted noise to the erasure of history. The final question isn't what is the system keeping silent, but what are you keeping silent? Don't let silence become complicity. Don't let your foundation be built on stories untold. If this video reached something inside you, don't just like and move on. Leave a comment, a story, or just 3 words. I understand. Let's turn the comment section below into a place where silence is broken. And if you want to know how to rebuild the system from these ruins, watch the next video in this series, When the Victim Becomes the Court. Don't be silent, because when you are silent, they win.